want to share a little tip with you diesel owners on how to prevent getting diesel fumes into your trunk. You know, this is common, and there's a couple different places that can come from. But one of them that's often overlooked is a plugged water drain out of the fuel tank filling door area. If you look down in here, there's a drain down there. Now in the W116, it's really hidden. It's way down there. What happens over time, silt gets in the hose that drains out to the bottom of the car, and this will start to fill up with water. And when you go to fuel your diesel, if you happen to overfill or if you pull it out and drip into this water, when the water rises up, it goes right into this rubber seal. And it drips down into the trunk and it gets on your trunk lining or on that carpet. And I tell you, that's really tough to get it out. So I want to show you first how you can test for this. Okay, you want to make sure that drain is working very well. Just grab some water and just pour it down in here like that. And it should rapidly be draining out as fast as you pour it in. If it's dribbling out, then you've probably got a problem with a stuck drain, or worse yet, if the water's not coming out at all, then you need to do something about that. And the best way to do that is to get a piece of plastic vacuum line like this and just get down in that hole and try to run it through the tubing and work it in and out like this. And you can even pour some water down in there while you're working the tubing to make sure that that tube is free of debris. Now you also need to be aware of one other thing. I'm going to show that to you on this W116, but I'm going to quickly show you a W123. It's a little bit different, but you can still have the same problem. This is a W123 300D. Notice that that drain's not so deep as it is in a W116, but notice this. Look at how close the drain is to this rubber seal. And that rubber seal goes right into the trunk. So you might think that's sealing water and even fuel, but not so. If it's saturated, it will leak through. So you need to make sure this drain doesn't get plugged, because once again, this will fill up. If you're getting water in the trunk, it could be coming through the seal. And of course, if you spill fuel into the water's not draining out. Eventually that fuel is going to leak into the trunk and you're going to smell it. And it's really hard to get rid of the smell. So let's see how this one works. I'm just going to pour some water in there. Uh-oh. See, that's a little slow, so a heavy rain, I could get water leaking in through that seal there. So let's get the tubing, run it down through there. Okay, now I'm going to work that a little bit while I run the water in there. Okay, now I didn't even know this was a problem on this car because I hadn't really done this test. So I recommend you go out and do this test to your old Mercedes. Make sure that drain is free. Now let's pour some water in there now and see what happens. See that? It's draining right out. So you can see, even at this blue 300D, this is something that's been neglected and can create a problem. Now I'm going to go back to the 116 because I have the trunk line around. I'm going to show you one more thing you have to watch for if you're getting any fuel smell or water in the trunk. I'm back inside the W116 with this inner trunk liner out, and look at this plastic hose right here. It goes right up in here, and you see it connects to this metal tubing, and that metal tubing is what comes out of the bottom of this fuel tank door area. And I've seen this hose rot and break off and fall off. So anytime you get rainwater here, guess where it's leaking? It needs to go through the tube and down and out the bottom of the car. If this hose comes undone, you're going to get a lot of water in this area. And if you do any overfill or spillage of your diesel fuel, you get diesel fuel smell down in here. So this is something you definitely want to check in your old Mercedes, because I see a lot of these now that are just falling off. Just one recommendation, if you do get diesel fuel in the trunk of your Mercedes, let me tell you, from my experience, you usually have to replace all these carpet pieces, and even the rubber mat can be saturated with diesel fuel and you cannot get the smell out. So take care of these drains, folks.